Hey y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bree's Blerd podcast. I'm your host, Bree, and I am so glad you decided to spend some time with me today. Go ahead, get your tea, get your water, or if you're in the car, just take a deep breath. We're getting into it today. I've been thinking a lot about my brand as a Black woman. See, I feel we are in a beautiful era of soft life and main character energy. But as a blerd, as someone who loves the details and deep meanings of everything and overanalyzes a lot of things, I want to talk about what's underneath the silk robes in the aesthetic bookshelves. Okay? Every week, I want to bring you a blurred quote of the week, something to chew on. So this week, we're looking at Austin Channing Brown's masterpiece, I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness. I just recently finished this book and I recommend it to every single Black woman or Black girl because I feel like this resonates with so many of us at the base of our core. She says, our only hope for color blindness is for us to actually go blind. But the goal is not to be blind, the goal is to see. I'm going to repeat that just in case you didn't hear me. Our only hope for color blindness is for us to actually go blind. But the goal is not to be blind, the goal is to see. Let's really break that down. Because in our culture today, people try to tell us that not seeing color is the goal, or I don't see color. But as a Black woman, our color is history. It's our history, it's our style, it's the way we speak. If you don't see my color, you don't see me. You don't see the blerd in me. You see just a silhouette. See, Austin is challenging us to be seen in our full, vibrant blackness. That's all. Now I like to tell a personal story, but before we get into it, this reminded me of a time as well. Maybe you can relate where I was in a space that wasn't made for me. I remember I was sitting in a meeting and I had this urge to talk about a book I was reading or a hobby I had to a friend, but I shrunk myself. I thought they won't get it, or I need to be professional Black woman right now, not the nerdy one. And I have done that multiple times where I have been in rooms with other people and I have decided not to say things because I don't want to be seen as not incompetent, but like seen differently in a way or be judged because of that, because of me being Black. I feel like I'm judged harsher because of that. And a lot of people might be like, what? But I'm not only Black and a woman, I'm also part of the LGBT community and I'm married to a woman. So I feel like that resonates altogether. I have three struggles. Anyways, I was performing. Basically, that's what I feel. I was performing. I was putting on an act. That's what I do. When I walk out of my house, it's an act. At work, you have to be in a professional setting because in a professional setting, there's a certain way that I feel you have to act. I can't go there and be like, girl, and but, this, that. And I can't go cussing and doing all that, talking to each other. Like, there's certain things that are only for the work environment. There's some things for people out here in the world to see, friends, family, and then there's my home life. And I feel like that's one thing. I seen a video about Loretta Devine. She was on TikTok talking about how they said about Black people being actors, and she said they was like, how do they how are they so good? And she's like, hell, we've been acting our whole life. Don't say this there. You only act like this at church. You act like this at school. You act like this at home. You act like this when we go to this person's house. You don't ask for this when we go over there. And you better not ask for no food because you got food at home. So I feel like that's something that really resonates in me, is that it's a performance. I was being acceptable. Have any of you ever felt that heavy weight in your chest when you realize you're playing a character? I feel like that's what Austin is talking about. That's the opposite of dignity, right? So let's connect this to the trends today. We see the clean girl aesthetic on TikTok. It's all beige and quiet. It's cute, don't get me wrong. But for Black women, quiet, excuse me, isn't always safe. Sometimes our dignity is loud and it needs to be. But the thing about it is, it's always a time and a place. Austin writes about the exhaustion of navigating white spaces, and I agree. I think the soft life trend is our collective I give up. We are giving up on the struggle. We are giving up on being the strong Black woman who carries the world. We are choosing to be soft because we finally realize that our dignity isn't tied to our productivity. Let me say that again. Our dignity isn't tied to our productivity. And if you understand that, just stay with me a little bit. So now I want to get into some things here. I want to ask three things. I'll say the question, then I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds so you can actually answer it in your head. So, question one: where are you still performing for others? Is it at work? Is it in your friend group? And what would happen if you just stopped? Question two: when you look at your blurred hobbies or nerd things or stuff you do personally, the reading, the tech, the niche interests, do you feel like those things are part of your dignity or do you just keep them hidden? And question three: if you could design a world that was made for you, what would the first rule be? For me, it would be the rest is mandatory, not earned, because you have to rest. If you do not rest, you get tired and fatigued, stressed out, burned out, and it affects your health, your high blood pressure, your anxiety, depression. So I have too many days where I'm just full of so much stress and whatnot that it comes out and it affects my health. But think about it, when you take a seat back and like, okay, let me focus on my health first and then worry about everything else kind of falls in place. And I feel like that's where I'm kind of getting to. So those are just a few questions to get you thinking. Those questions can be answered by anyone. You don't have to be specifically Black, and this isn't just specifically for Black women, even though I'm tailoring it to it because this is just episode one of my podcast. So I really want to talk about different subjects, and if there's anything, if you're listening and you want me to talk about, just comment down below. I am a small creator, so I'm just now starting out here, but I am trying to get more engagement. So, in closing, I know we covered a lot today. We talked about Austin Channing Brown, we talked about the trap of colorblindness, and we talked about reclaiming our time. Again, like I said, Austin Channing Brown's book, Black Dignity in a World Full of Whiteness, Made for Whiteness, I feel hits on every single topic and question that you may have as a Black woman or a Black girl. I feel like she asked the questions almost, but not in the way of asking questions, but she explains it by her personal stories and her personal experience through life. This episode resonated with you? Just do me a favor. Share it, subscribe to my channel, and let's get a conversation going about Black dignity. And anything else, really. I love reading. Go pick up I'm Still Here. Support a Black owned bookstore if you can. I'm Bree. This is Bree's Blerd Podcast. Once again, thanks for walking with me for the first episode. Stay nerdy, stay dignified, and most importantly, stay soft. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye. Ain't nobody in the way to do what I